here this morning. But 1 Kings chapter 21, verse 1 through 3. And I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just going to read this portion of it for you this morning. As you can see, can we put on there? Here we go. It says, both Naboth replied, the Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance that has passed down by my ancestors. You can go ahead and be seated this morning. Thank you, worship team. This morning, the title of my message today is entitled, The Cost of My Soil. The Cost of My Soil. It was birthed from hearing a set of lyrics that I heard in a song that was sent to me. And the moment I heard these words in this song, something stirred in my spirit. I started to get images, and this was why I guess the song that they sang this morning also had an effect on me on this morning because of the lyrics that it said. But this song was the different song, and these lyrics began to cause these images and these memories and even these hard truths to begin rushing through my mind. And honestly, I couldn't shake it. And when I finally sat down to put this message together, I really asked the Lord to help me see what He's trying to say. And in that moment, God began to show me that the soil of our lives, the growth, the healing, the faith, the ground that we've gained has cost us something. And anything that costs you something is worth protecting. That lyric became really the doorway and the introduction to this message. Now, the portion of scripture read, but Naboth replied, the Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance that was passed down by my ancestors. This is a very heavy and very full of packed type of verse. Because there are seasons when God teaches you, when God stretches you, when God breaks you, and when He builds you. But by the end of that season, you don't just come out with seed, but you come out with soil that costs you something. Now, what does this mean? What it means is that when you go through a season with God, you just don't end up with ideas or plans or thoughts or dreams. Those are seeds. Thoughts and dreams and ideas are the seeds that you throw into soil. But instead, when you come out of a season, you come out with character, growth, depth, strength. These things that were formed, struggle through prayer, through sacrifice, and through obedience. That's soil. Seeds are easy to get. Anyone can come up with a thought. Anyone can come up with an idea. Anyone can think of a dream and say, oh, I got this idea or this dream, or I had this plan, or I had this thought. Anyone can come up with seed. But good soil, especially a soil that can actually grow something, costs you time. It costs you tears. It costs you battles. And it costs you faith. Are you with me this morning? It means that your process didn't just give you something to plant, but rather it changed the ground inside of you. Listen, your trials and your struggles and your battles and your faith doesn't give you something just to plant. It gave you something inside of you. It gave you good ground to grow something. See, this seeds of this series that we ended wasn't just about planting. See, the problem is that we come into church a lot of times thinking, well, Pastor, all you want us to do is plant. Plant this and plant that and sow into this and sow into that. And sometimes when we take a series or we get a word, we have a misconception of what it truly means. So I'm clearing it up for you this morning. It's not about just planting, but it was about preparing the ground that the enemy wants to steal. See, I was trying to get you to prepare a ground that makes it stealable. Listen. Some of you had a car back in the day, what we called a hoopty, a beater. Your sound system was worth more than the whole car. Every time your sound system bumped, your trunk rattled, right? Some of you had like a Hyundai hatchback, right? Put all the homies in the back, right? And they were all crunched in back there, and you had these little hoopty cars that you would ride around, and you would park it anywhere. Why? Because no one would steal it. You park it anywhere. There ain't no one going to steal that beater. By the time they got out of the parking lot, they would already get arrested. But now, today, some of you got nice cars, screens in the back, leather seats, sound systems, all rims. Now you got something worth stealing. Right? That's the enemy. Before you got here around, that was not worth stealing. But today, and after this series, God has prepared a ground that is worth stealing. Why? Because once you prepare good soil, hell gets nervous. Now, I don't know if you were with me this morning. We're all in our peak coat, hoodie, sweater mode, and we're real snuggly and real, what do you call that thing that they wear, that blanket, a little snuggie. You're in your snuggie mentality. Take your snuggie off, amen? Listen, I'm talking about a message that you have to hold on to. I'm not preaching Sunday night. We're going to have family night. We're going to play games. And then Wednesday night, we're going to worship. So I need you to hold on to this message tonight, this morning, amen? Listen, hell gets nervous when you got good soil. Why? Because once you sow in faith and in tears and in obedience and gratitude, the enemy recognizes that your ground is now dangerous. Once you sow in these things, the ground that is inside of you becomes dangerous. Your soil costs you something. Some of you fought through depression to prepare for it. Some of you pushed through family battles to protect it. Some of you endured financial pain, spiritual warfare, moments of doubt, and seasons of loneliness, and yet you're still standing. You should give the Lord a hand of praise for that. Like, am I a bigger fan of you than your own? You're still standing and you're like sitting there like your hands are frozen. Listen, you're still standing. Here you are, still pursuing the call of God. When you got that type of ground, that soil is valuable. And anything valuable will always attract an attack. Do you attract an attack? Or when they look at you, they're weak. I don't need to bother with you. Your soil won't grow nothing. I don't got to worry about it. You ain't going to do nothing with that dirt. Right? But when the enemy passes by, he goes, ooh, that's good land. That's dangerous soil. We better steal that before he grows something good with that, before he does something with that. That's why God led me to this message. Because seeds are one thing, but soil is different. Soil is what holds the miracle. Soil is what nourishes the seed. Soil is what determines the harvest. And the scripture tells us that we find a man by the name of Naboth who understood this. What he was saying was, you don't just hand over soil that God gave you. You what? You fight for it. Some of us don't fight for our soil. Why do we fight for it? Number one is that your soil is your inheritance. You got to protect what God gave you. What does it say in 1 Kings 21, verse 2 to 3 in the New Living Translation? 21, verse 2 to 3 in 1 Kings says, Ahab said to Naboth, let me buy your vineyard. But Naboth replied, the Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance passed down by my ancestors. Naboth didn't fight for land because it was expensive. He fought because it was assigned to him. He said that the Lord forbid give up what God entrusted to me. In other words, this cost me too much just to hand it over lightly. Listen, this call of God, this walk with God, this inheritance that I received, it cost me something. It cost me something. It cost me tears. It cost me battles. It cost me people. It cost me all sorts of things that I could not even begin to say has cost me. But so do you think that I'm just going to hand it over to you lightly because you offer me a lollipop? Here's a lollipop. Can I have your calling? No. What? No, you're not. I'm going to build my home on this land. I'm going to build the calling upon this land. My children are going to be raised in this soil. This is soil that I'm going to give my kids and my grandkids, the people. This is a soil that belongs to my church. So do you think I'm just going to hand it over lightly? Some of you are handing over your soil for a lollipop. Ooh, that's a nice popsicle. Can I have it? Yeah, just give me your land. Sure, why not? That's how we sound. I'll give you a Twinkie. A Twinkie cream filling. I'll take it. Listen, some of us, we're handing over the calling and our soil over so lightly. We go through a trial and we're ready to quit. We go through something, we're ready to walk out on our marriage. We go through something and we offer an ultimatum because we know that we don't want this. Why? Because we're just going to give it over so lightly. If that's what my children want, and they can go and have, that's on them. No, it's not. It's on you. Listen, this soil costs us something. What has this soil cost you? Your soil, your faith, your growth, your healing, your breakthrough, it is not random. It's inherited. It's invested. It's entrusted. It's assigned. Listen, some of us think that your growth and your healing, that it was random. Your breakthrough was random. I'm just so glad I happened to go to church and I got a breakthrough. No, it was assigned to you. Your life being changed was invested into you. God had a plan. So I'm going to give you an inheritance that from generation to generation that your family will be able to eat from and receive miracles from and grow on. But yet we think it was random. No, it was an inheritance to you and I. That's why the enemy always tries to negotiate for what God gave you. He offers you shortcuts, distractions, temptations, offenses, compromises, even replacements. I'm going to tell you this. Ahab didn't offer Naboth something evil. See, that's the problem with a lot of us in church, is that we think that everything comes, that the enemy tries to use as evil. Oh, he's going to come with a bag of drugs. He's going to come with a harlot. He's going to come with this or with that. It's not always evil. He will come with you with these compromises and these conveniences. That's what he offered Naboth. He offered him something easier. He offered him something more convenient. He offered something similar. Really, it was a generic version of what God had for him. Can I tell you something? Convenience is one of the deadliest assassins of your calling. Don't exchange your soil for something shiny that can't produce what God promised. We're trading and exchanging our soil for something that looks cute, that looks shiny, that looks awesome, that looks great. That's modern. That's new. Listen, we cannot exchange it for something that's not going to produce what God has promised for your life. Listen to this. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm telling you guys the truth. Hell, the enemy doesn't want your seed. He doesn't want your seed. You know what he wants? He wants your soil. He doesn't want your ideas. He doesn't want your thoughts. Because, listen, you can have those all day, and you'll think, I'm a visionary. I'm a dreamer. What good is it if you have no soil to put it in? What good does it have thoughts and ideas if you have nothing to put it in, to grow it, and to hold it, and to nourish it, and to plant it into something amazing, into a great harvest? If your soil is your inheritance, then the enemy's going to try to steal it. He's going to try to steal it no matter what. Which means you have to be prepared for spiritual warfare. Why? Well, this will bring me to my second point. Your soil will be attacked. Why? Because it's valuable. John chapter 10, verse 10 in the English Standard Version says this. The thief comes only to steal and kill and what? Destroy. You want to know why? Because valuable ground is always battleground. Valuable ground is always battleground. If you're not going through it, it's because you have nothing for him to want to fight you for. Husband, if you're being attacked, it's because he wants to take your wife out. He wants to take your children out. Because there's a promise upon your family that God is going to use that family in a powerful and miraculous way. And if he can take you out, then wives, we get mad at our husbands because he's being attacked. You're back with your house. You want to know why? He's trying to take the head of your household out. He's trying to take out the one that you're supposed to be there with, building your family and leading and doing something great for God. Some of you young people, you want to know why you're under attack? Because there's a future for you. All you third wavers, there's a call of God for you to inherit this promise that God has given us. But yet, what will you do with it? We're fighting for something. Listen, I don't know about you. I don't know how you look at yourself, but I ain't no cheap piece. I don't think so. I'm not. I'll tell you the truth. I think that my ground is very valuable. Above market value. Like, I think I'm expensive ground. Like, I'm going to charge you to walk on this ground. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what? Why can't I feel that way about myself? If I don't feel that way about myself, if I don't believe that I have valuable ground, then I'll let anyone just take it. And I refuse to allow anyone to take the ground that God has given me. Listen, Naboth didn't get attacked until he said what? Until he said no. The moment he stood his ground, Jezebel and Ahab launched an assignment against him. Why? Listen, you want to know why you don't get attacked? Is you keep on saying yes to temptation. Keep on saying yes to sin. You keep on saying yes to complacency. Keep on saying yes to whatever it is that the enemy is throwing your way. But the moment you tell the enemy no, the moment that you tell him no, he sends a full attack that's assigned to you so that you will not have good ground. Why? Because the enemy never attacks or fights for land that doesn't matter. If your family has been attacked, if your faith has been attacked, if your calling has been attacked, if your marriage has been attacked, if your vow to the Lord has been attacked, if your growth has been attacked, think of this city is an amazing city, and all these wild people got saved. Imagine what God would do. So when the enemy walks around this city, he sees his acre, said, I want that piece. It's like Monopoly. I'll take it. I'll buy it for 100. 100, make it 110. All right, 110. What do you want? What do you want for your land? Right? I'll give you a nice car, a new job, so you have more security. How about that? How much do I make, enemy? $40 an hour. Whoo, I ain't made that much money in a long time. I'll take it. And every time he walks by, he's just buying up property, buying up land, buying up land. Why? Because your land matters. Your family and your children matter. You have to see it as though that you matter, that your ground is valuable. He's attacking it because if not, you're going to save your neighborhood, and you're going to reach your job and all these different places that you are going to reach. Satan is not after your comfort. He's after your calling. He knows that if he can steal your soil, your seed can't survive. That's why he wants your soil. This is why offense and temptation, exhaustion, fear, and comparison always shows up right after a season of sowing. Why? It is because the enemy is saying, give me the ground you just gained. You want to know why some people don't come to church afterwards, or they go through things after a good series? Because he says, you know what? I want the ground that you just gained. Some of you are going to go to World Conference and your life is going to change. And as soon as you get back, the enemy's going to hit your household, and you're going to give up what you've gained. Your family starts getting saved, and now they've been saved 3 months and 6 months, and now they're starting to annoy you now. And you stop calling them. All they want me to do is pray for them. Before all you said is all they want is money. Now all they want is prayer. Make up your mind. You want death or you want heaven? Which one do you want? Ask me for prayer all you want. Listen, all of a sudden, God gives us what we want, and we begin to give up what we've gained. We've lost sight sometimes during the battle that God has given us soil. What did Naboth say? He said, you must rise up and say, the Lord forbid it. Not today, not ever. That's the mentality you and I have to have. Like Naboth. Listen, you and I have to live a life that we forbid that the enemy take our land. That you not today and not ever. Some of us haven't declared in our life that the enemy will never, ever, ever take our land. Some of us say it, but in our heart, we say, you cannot have my land as long as I get to keep this little shed of sin in my life. I want to be able to still do this. I want to still be able to do that. But as long as you let me still do this, then, you ever heard that story about the man that owned a house that was very valuable? And that meant a lot to him. And this realtor came to his house and knocked on the door and said, hey, sir, I see that you have this house here. I would like to buy it. The guy said, no, it means too much to me. My father left it to me, and my father's father left it to him. And so this land is an inheritance. I don't want to give this land up. I'll pass on it. He goes, I'll make you a big offer. I'll give you 3 times what it's worth. With no hesitation, the guy says, nope, I'll pass. So the guy left. The realtor came back and said, you know what? I got an idea. I want to take this nail and I'll buy that spot on your living room wall. How much? He offered him what the house was worth. You want to give me what my house is worth just for that nail in the wall? He goes, yeah. You know, sure, why not? The blessing of God. That's what I get for sticking up. Okay, praise God. Gave him the nail. A week later, the guy came back with the carcass in a bag of an animal, dead animal. He says, I want to put this bag on my nail. So that's a dead animal in there. There's no way you can do that. He says, it's my nail. So what could he do? So the guy goes and puts the bag of carcass on the nail. He leaves. Weeks go by, it smells. Weeks go by, it starts to get all this nasty on the wall, and the house begins to stink to the point that the man had to just move out. That's what we do. We allow the enemy to have some nail in our land, and he takes our land. You could think sometimes that's not a big deal that I do this. It's not a big deal that I do. The thing is that you don't see as far into the future as the enemy does. Because he's not after your whole land sometimes. Because he knows for some of you can't get it. All he needs is a small piece. That's why you always have to think of it like this. The fact that hell is attacking you is proof that heaven planted something worth protecting. If the enemy is attacking you, that means that God in heaven planted something in your life that is worth attacking. So when anything comes your way, the size of a nail or not, you must what? Protect your land. And if you're going to protect your soil, then you got to understand the cost. Because good soil is expensive. When we understand that, then we'll always remember this third point. That your soil cost you something. Don't give away what you paid for. What does 2 Samuel 24:24 say in the New Living Translation? I will not offer to the Lord a sacrifice that cost me something. Listen, don't surrender what cost you tears. Don't surrender what cost you sleepless nights. Don't surrender what cost you something. See, what David understood was that anything that costs you nothing is worth nothing. If you paid nothing for this walk with God, then it's worth nothing. But I'll tell you this right now, all of you have paid something where you are at today, so it is worth something. Your soil is your spiritual growth. It costs you something. You prayed through nights. You fought through trauma. You worshiped through pain. You stayed when others quit. You planted when others ran. And now the enemy wants you to hand over your progress. Are you kidding me? The enemy wants you to hand over your progress. Even if it's a little bit, so what? It's still progress. This is how I look at it. Is I didn't cry for nothing. And I didn't sow for nothing. And I didn't obey for nothing, and I didn't stay for nothing, and I didn't fight for nothing, and I didn't pray for nothing, and I didn't do all these things for nothing. Why? Because all those things added value. The cost is what makes it valuable. What have you paid? What has it cost you to be where you're at today? I'm going to tell you this. Good soil is rare. Soil has history. Good soil has sweat and tears and obedience mixed into it. That's why the enemy wants it and why we must guard it. Listen, you can never surrender soil that costs you tears, that costs you obedience, discipline, and guess what else? Perseverance. Listen, if I was to list all the things that this cost me, I could write my own song. My own blues song, my own sad story, my own country song, whatever one song you want to call it. It would have, I know the rule is like 3 verses. Mine would have like 10 verses. It'd be like 5 parts to my song. All of you have, it has cost. Some of you guys serving God has cost you family. Some of it has cost you friends. Some of it has cost you financially. Some of it has cost you, all sorts of things. It has cost you. Yet we give it up as if it cost us nothing. You know, I love my son King. He's an amazing kid. But the other day he found a wallet. It had a Benjamin on it, right? $100 bill on the wallet. And he goes, "Dad, give me some money." I said, "For what?" "Because I found a wallet. I need money in it." Well, that's odd. You didn't know for it, bro. Like me. But it was. We were here doing something, decorating, whatever. So I had what I had $8, $5 bill and 3 ones. I said, "Here you go." I gave it to him. So the night goes on. We're walking around. We're getting ready to leave. And what do I find on the floor? A wallet. I opened the wallet. There's $8 in it. I snagged it. Then I threw the wallet open on the floor. Kayla's laughing. She saw me do this, right? So King, I go, "Hey, King, is that your wallet?" "Oh, it's my wallet." He picked it. He goes, I go, "What?" He goes, "My money's missing." This is not a lie. This is true. He starts, I go, "Where are you going?" "Someone took my money." So here's your money. You want to know why I found that money on the floor? Because it cost him nothing. He didn't work for it. He didn't care about it at all. Didn't think nothing about it until he realized it was gone. Some of us act like that. We drop the calling of God on the floor. We drop our family on the floor. We drop our children, our marriages on the floor. We drop our mental state on the floor. We drop our emotions on the floor. We drop our confidence on the floor. We drop our vows on the floor, our purity on the floor. You drop it all on the floor. And then you get mad and say, "Swipe or no swipey." Realize my children ain't saved no more. My marriage is on the verge of divorce. I found myself isolated and far from the call of God. What happened? And you're running around like King looking for the calling, looking for your family. All of a sudden it's an urgency. Because you left it as if it cost you nothing. Listen, the call of God, this life that we live, it cost us something. Understand what I'm saying? It cost us something. Listen, if your soil has value and if it has cost, then this brings me to my 4th point and my final point. But I want to make sure that you understand it's not just a point. Don't write it down, the point number 4 only. I want you to write next down to that point that this is the mandate, a very clear mandate that I'm giving to you as a church. You must fight for your soil because it holds your future. Nehemiah 4:14 says this: "Fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes." Listen, your soil doesn't just affect you. That's why when you heard me say in that series about getting caught slipping, I said that your sin doesn't affect only the individual. It affects all those that are around you. I want you to know something, that your soil doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone that is connected to you. What you build, your children inherit. What you protect, the next generation benefits from it. See, this soil, it costs us something. You know, how could I ever not want to be with the person and never want to be with the person that's battled with me day and night, every day for the last 20 years, right? So first of all, that's value. I have a person that's a ride or die person, partner, back-to-back spouse that I'm with. So we've toiled this ground, and we've built, and we fought for it, and we toiled, and we make sure this ground is good. Why? Because I'm going to hand it to my children so that they can build on it. Now, they may not understand the true cost of what that soil cost, but they built on it. Listen, you want to know why the promise of this church was so important? Because for 30 years, 40 years, people have fought for the calling and the flag that stands in this city. So that people can come, that the lost, from the highways and the byways, the hurting, the dying, could come to a place that had good soil so they could bring their family and plant them so that they can grow and become all that God has for them. See, when you look at things differently, you understand why we are a people of conviction and values and standards, because it is the boundary stones that protects the soil that we have been given. So, I don't know what soil you grew up in, but some of the soil that you grew up in turned some people into drug addicts, gang members, depressed, suicidal, anxious, sick, all messed up. Right? Can I get an amen? Or are we denying that today? Right? I know it's hard as to, we want to forget about that. Don't forget about that. Remember it. Don't live it, but remember it. That was the soil. So then God got you. You went into the home. You came into your church. He put 2 oxen and a plower, and there you go. You broke addiction. You broke your language. You broke a spirit. You broke anger. You broke lust. Sweating. You're bleeding. The enemy came, and you're attacking while you're building, and you're going so that you know that one day I'm going to build a land where my children can grow, my house can grow, my sons, my daughters, my brothers, my family can all receive what I received. But yet, we don't want to fight, right? When Nehemiah built the wall, he told people, fight for your family, fight for your land, fight. But by protecting his vineyard, he was protecting his lineage. You want to know why me and my wife fight for our church the way that we do, and why you say, Pastor, can we do this? No, I'm not okay with that. Pastor, why are you not okay? Because I'm not okay with that. Because I do not want to affect the lineage that God has for our church. For spiritual children and for spiritual babies to grow up and to take their place in the world and do what God's called them to do. So no, I will fight for our future of our church and our family and our children and our marriages and all those that come. Why? Because we refuse to give up the call of God. Listen. The same is true for you. You can't refuse to give up your calling. You can't refuse to allow your children to grow in it. When you refuse to walk away from God, your grandchildren stand on your faith. When you protect your soil, God protects your legacy. Listen, I want a legacy. I want a legacy that's pure before God. I want a legacy that my children, my grandchildren, all those around me can walk in the call of God. I don't want to die for nothing. Think about it. Do you want to die for nothing? I don't want to die for nothing. I'm going to go through all the hell in the world. I don't know if I can say that. It's really the truth. I'm using the term of demons. If I'm going to go through all the hell in the world, do you think I want to, right before I pass away, just give it all up and die and go to hell? Die and just say, hey, everything I lived for, everything I ever said, and I stood on and I spoke was a lie. You know when people say, oh, well, he couldn't do it, then we can't do it. My dad couldn't do it, then we can't do it. No. Say, I didn't go through all this to die for nothing. I refuse to die for nothing. I refuse to die just to let it all go. God called me to live for something, and that's for good soil. Everything about your future harvest depends on the soil that you fight for today. I want to call the worship team. And I want you to get this in your very soul today. This has to be embedded inside of you. Your soil is the birthplace of your next season. As we get ready to go into 2026 soon, what's next? Well, your soil depends on what yours next is. Don't get mad at God. Don't get mad at anybody else. Your next depends on your soil. So, if you got good soil, fight for it. And if you don't got good soil, then fight to get it. One way or the other, you're going to have to fight this morning. See, the seeds of the season series prepared your ground. But now, God is calling you to protect it. So, well, I didn't hear the series. Thank God for YouTube. You can go back and listen to it. But really, God's been preparing your ground. For some of you, you're up next. You're next. But you got to protect it. And maybe, as you all stand this morning, and maybe, just maybe, during this series that we ended, or even in this year, many of us face different things. Especially after having a year like we had last year, right? Many of us have gone through it and faced some things this year. Are we going to let 2025 be a waste? I hope not. Because this year you gained some ground. You gained some ground. Some of you gained some clarity. Some of you gained some peace. Some of you gained some healing, some hunger, a new desire, a greater faith, a greater discipline, a greater obedience, more consistency. But now the enemy wants to snatch it back. That's what I was telling. I don't know who I was telling. I was telling one of the guys when we were decorating. I said, many of us, we did something recent in our life. And what happens is that when we gain something, we get a little comfortable. Listen, for all the leaders that are in here, and even for those of you that say this is your church, we're a church that's not only rebuilding, but we're a church that's building. We're not just rebuilding, we're building. So what does that mean? Is that you can't get comfortable because now you don't do drugs anymore. Or because now you don't cuss anymore. Or because now you're faithful to church. Or because now you're a giver. Or because now you serve in ministry. Or now because you preach. Or now whatever, because you've been promoted to a leader. Or because now your family looks to you and says, man, you're the light of our family. Listen, a blinking light is better than the darkness that's in your family. But then we settle and we get comfortable. And that's when the enemy snatches it back. He wants to snatch it back. But this is what God is saying today. He's saying, fight for your soil. Protect what I planted. Don't surrender the ground I gave you. Here's the challenge. And you have to examine yourself and be truthful. You ready? Here's the whole truth. If I could turn into a mirror right now, I'd turn into a mirror. Here's the truth. Is that some of you make it look, where you're at, you make it look good that you surrendered. You want to know how you make it look good? Because you're falsely confident. Because you walk around as if nothing's wrong in your life. I'm doing great. At least I'm not where I was at. You're on the road to it, though. But if you're not making progress, then you're not where you need to be at. So sometimes a lot of us make surrendering look good, and we even make it look good through rebellion. So the question today is, have you surrendered? Or are you fighting for your ground? As they get ready to sing this song, for those of you that are today, they say, you know what, Pastor, this message ministered to me, and I got something for this. Then I want you to tell the Lord, Lord, soil I've gained is too valuable. And I'm going to fight for what you gave me. What I have, my family's been needing it for generations. What I have has broken chains. What I have is ground that's the doorway to miracles and a harvest like never before. So today, Lord, help me to fight for it. Show me